Hi, welcome to your online studio tour. I'm going to walk you through using your own personal online studio that you have easy 24/7 access to. It's the place where we keep all of the components of your project, and we can work collaboratively in any kind of project, even a fairly small one, just maybe working on a living room redesign or a kitchen. There are lots of bits and pieces that we need to keep track of, lots of conversation, lots of ideas that flow, even over a short term, even over a couple of weeks. So no matter the size of your project, this is where we keep everything, because we want to keep it nice and simple and keep your relaxation level nice and even as best as it can be. So here we go. First of all, you will have received a welcome letter with a link to your online studio and a temporary password. So you'll be able to change that password when we log in. I suggest that rather than having to go look for that email and find it to log in each time, what you can do is just save my website URL to your desktop or to your navigation bar at the top or your bookmarks, and then that way you can just log straight in. So we go over here to the end of this navigation bar to client login, and this will give you the opportunity to log in here, very much like that. And you'll see something like this. So you have a couple of different options to access your project. You will see if you have any messages that you haven't seen yet. They're date stamped as well. You can also see messages up here in this little message center. You'll see an orange dot like this will be right there, but we'll come back to that in a moment. So we're going into your project here. Presentation mode is what I've called mine. And this right off the top, if you don't see this toolbar down the side, it's these three little dots for project menu. Just click that. So you might only see this, click those, that opens that up for you. So it's project info. This is where I've captured some notes on, usually if we've started off with emails when we first met, that's how I enter that information there, so we have it handy. The next topic or the next tab that you have is your contract. So read that contract over. It's a pretty standard one. If you have any questions at all or want to make any adjustments to it, by all means, let me know and we can revise that. And once you're ready to approve it, then we can start work once you've accepted it. So you hit on accept contract, enter your information, and once you click this, then it's a binding contract. It's date stamped and it stays here in your online studio so that you always have access, and I always have access to it. Now we go to close out of there, and you can actually print that off as well, by the way. And I just wanted to show you the message center here. So this is where you toggle in and out of messages. So when you have a new message or you want to send me a message, you click here, and this is what you'll see. Your message will be down in the bottom here, and when I start typing, it'll fill in, and it'll also keep expanding. If you want to see a larger window, you just grab here at the bottom and you just pull down, and that'll expand that for you. And when you're all set, you hit send, and it appears here, and that's where it keeps all of our emails communication. It's great because then we're not skipping back and forth between an email program and this program. It's all in one place for you, nice and simple. So we'll go into the space here where it says living room. Oh, sorry, back out of email. So once you have finished your message, you need to click here. That's the toggle to take you back out of there, brings you back to this. So your project is divided into spaces, and those will be rooms, for example, like living room, kitchen. It might be cabinetry and plumbing fittings, furnishings, lighting, anything that makes sense for your project, and that kind of shifts as we go along, as things are developing. But for now, we have a living room here. And these are the tabs that you'll have for that room. You have info here. It'll just be usually a few notes. Often it'll just say scene notes, which is this tab here, which we'll come back to in a moment. But for now, this is where we are gathering the images. So we've got before images. You will be able to add to that just by clicking here, capturing an image, hitting it, entering it, and away you go. pretty straightforward for all programs these days. So there's before images, measurement files, if this one here is for kitchen dimensions for countertops that my client put together. Inspiration photos, feel free to add any. You come across something you really like, put it there. And then this is after images. So as the project is winding down, you can be putting images on that show me how great something looks, or, you know, that's where I would also put the professional photos after your project is complete. To see these pictures large, you just click on the eye. That gives you a full-size view. Okay, and you can just X out of that when you're done. Takes you back here. Now, questionnaire, you will probably have already filled out a questionnaire at the beginning, and if not, then that questionnaire will be here. Just clicking in it and start typing, and that will take you all the way through, and that will end up being in your deliverables tab so that you can access that if you need to. So now let's go back to that notes tab that I mentioned. So this is a really great feature, because it means that we can keep all of the conversations and all of the decisions and questions for a particular space, like the living room, in one location. So we can see it at a glance, like a whole bunch of Post-its. So I've color-coded things so that when it's something that's for your attention, you're going to see it in red. So you know that you need to read that and take a look at it. If it's something that you want me to take a look at, it's going to be in yellow. And if it is finished, but we still need to hold that information, but we don't need to talk about it anymore, we turn it to blue. So how that happens is you've got one here for your attention. So we open that up. Just by clicking in it, you can start typing. And it expands as large as you need it, so you don't have to be, you know, brief with things. You can put as much information as you like. Hit the check mark to save that. And then, because it's going to be for my attention now, you just click here to change that to yellow. And hit done, and you're all done. Okay. If there's something that you really want me to notice, you can also just drag that over and make it the first item there as well. But the color coding system works really great. Okay. So that's that system. Estimates and proposals, anything from a vendor that we have an actual proposal on, you can click on it here. It's a PDF, so you just click to open it in a new window. You can download it or you can print it. You can save it to your computer. And you can also click the check mark here to accept it as well. And then we'll go ahead and put together an invoice for you. Then we also have next tab here is products. And this is where all of the product that I'm looking for you for your project to propose to you, so whether it's tile, flooring, plumbing fittings, furnishings, paint colors even, it's all going to be right here. So you have the information. You can click on the eye to see a larger picture. You've got some details here. If you want to see it on the website, you can click right here and that will take you right to StrucTube's website in this case. You've got your price here as well, and almost always there's dimensions there if that's relevant. So you can scroll through and see all of this. And now this is all for this particular space called the living room. So for example, here we're looking at this artwork. If you approve it and you say, oh, I love everything about it, let's do it, you just click the check mark here. If you have a question or you're thinking, yeah, maybe can we have something bigger, or could we put that in the bedroom instead, you would click on the flag, and that will let me know that I need to take some action, take a look at that. So you have some options here, but I always recommend going to other, because when you go to other, you can actually type what it is, like this is too big, or I really love this, whatever it is you want to say about it. You click revise product, and then I can see that it needs some attention. So just to show you, this is a sectional that needs some revision. So we asked a question with the little flag, and there it is waiting for me to pay attention to it. Next category is deliverables, and deliverables is where you're going to see if there were plans that needed to be done, like a lighting plan or a space allocation plan. Also paint schedules will be in here as well, and any other thing that's relevant. So I want to show you something very useful for the plans. When you click on the plan, this is in a PDF version. So to see this large, like that's tiny little print, because this plan would cover a 30 by 30, 30 by 36 sheet of paper in full size. To print it out on a little sheet of paper is no one will be able to read it. So what you do is you download it, and then you can open it with a program like Adobe Reader, and then you would print it to a poster. You'll have that option when you, in the print screen, you go select poster, and you can print it over several sheets of paper, tape it together, or you can take it to a place like Staples or digitally send that file to them, and they can print it out on a large sheet of paper. You can also have me do that for you as well. Okay, so that is that. And then the last thing is the mood board. The mood board is where I've taken some of the product that I'm presenting to you and put it all together. It's the same thing as a design board where you can see it all in one place. It just gives you an overview of how that look is all going to come together. I think that's everything for now. So I wanted to say thank you again so much for inviting me to be a part of your project. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate. You can open up the messages here and send the message. You can also use the old-fashioned telephone as well. And I'm looking very forward to working with you. Thank you.